Hey, motherfuckers, what's happening out there? Alright, welcome to the first episode of Sports Talk with Buck Sarver. I'm your motherfucking host, Buck Sarver. That's right. I'm gonna give you a little bit of details on how I'm gonna run this motherfucker. More than likely, I'm gonna do like a MLB recap on Sundays. Gonna try and do a prediction before each UFC main event. I'd like to do a little bit of recap, a little bit of where we go from here with each fighter, and then I definitely want to give you guys some MLB, NFL, such and such and such in all the leagues. Give you a little bit of highlights and news and what's going on in the week. Alright, so we're going to start today off with a little bit of recap on UFC on Fox 20. That's right, that was such a great card filled with fucking decisions. Boy, oh boy. Well, we'll start it off with the main event. The very exciting Holly Holmes. Or Home. I always add an S to that. I feel like it should have an S, but fuck her. Anyways, I've always thought she's a boring fucking fighter. I thought that they gave her Ronda, and that was just the right fight for her. You know, it was the right matchup. Ronda fucking does the exact wrong thing that she shouldn't have done. I'm not saying I predicted that. I don't think barely anybody fucking predicted that. But it was pretty clear to me before that Holly Holmes was just a decision fighter. I don't care to watch her. I'd rather watch Miesha Tate, Amanda Nunes, Juliana Pena. Fuck, I'd rather watch Sarah McMahon. Jesus. So, from here, after the decision loss, which, I mean, let's be honest, she lost that thing clear as day. After the decision loss to Shevchenko, where does Holly Holmes go? God, I'm glad I don't have to make fights for the UFC. I don't know, give her a rematch with Miesha Tate. Ugh, Jesus. Shevchenko, where does she go from here? I think you give her a fucking title shot. I know, she lost to Amanda Nunes already, but hey, it's okay. I don't give a fuck about that. I want to see that fight again. It was pretty good. I mean, any fight with Amanda Nunes is going to be a good fight. She's a fucking brawler. That's what she does best. She's an interesting fighter. You got to give her good matchups. You know, we had all this time, we were spoiled with Ronda, and now the fucking women's bantamweight is just, it's going through a flurry right now. Nobody knows who to root for. I say, give it to the fucking Brazilian. Let her do what she does best. Let her fucking tag some bitches. That'll be interesting. I'd watch that. Oh, for sure don't clear your throat into the fucking mic. Sorry, guys, I'm new to this. But, Juliana Pena, I mentioned, great fucking fighter. Interesting. I'd like to see her fight Ronda Rousey. Let's bring that bitch back to the UFC. Let's get her to fight again. I'd like to see Ronda Rousey coming back into the women's bantamweight versus Juliana Pena. Because you don't give them a welcome mat. Yeah, she did a lot for the fucking women's bantamweight division. Boo-hoo. That's over. You don't give them a welcome mat. Give them, a little bit of lip on the door when they walk through. So, that would be an interesting fight to me. Don't really care to see her versus Holly Holmes again. I don't want to see her versus Miesha again, So, give her Juliana Pena. Give Miesha Holly. Give Amanda Shevchenko. Boom. I just did their job for them. I'm telling you, UFC, tune in, bro. I got this shit for you. Alright. Well, the co-main event. Edson Barboza versus Gil. Fucking Melendez. I swear to God. That dude is a great fighter. Best days might be behind him, though. Edson Barboza, though. Jesus. That dude can kick. I love him. What do we do with Edson Barboza now, though? I think there's a lot of good possible matchups for Edson in the future. I mean, it all depends on what you do with Eddie, though. Do you give Eddie and Edson the fucking title fight, or do you give Eddie Habib? Do you give Eddie Tony Ferguson? I mean, that division is freaking stacked, but you got to do something with it. I don't think you give RDA the rematch. I'm not really interested in rematches. I like, make the champ redeem himself, kind of like you did with Jose. But I want to see Edson Barbosa versus, Habib or Tony Ferguson. I would really be interested in seeing him versus Tony Ferguson. Now that's a fight. And then, make Eddie and Habib fight for the fucking title. I'd love to see that shit. Did you hear that? Did you hear how well I pronounce his name? Habib? Swear to God. I should be fucking Muslim. So, I don't even think he's Muslim. I have no idea. That was probably a racist or something, or nationalist, whatever you call it. Yeah, I don't know what you do with Gil. But Edson, I think there is quite the ceiling for that guy. I would love to see him versus Tony Ferguson. Do I think it makes it out alive? I don't know about that. Tony Ferguson is as tough as they come. But I'd still like to see that fight. Make it happen. Francis Ngannou. Oh my God. Not even going to try to pronounce whoever he fought. I mean, way to give a guy a terrible first fight in the UFC. Hey, so you want to come fight in the UFC? Yeah, I'd love to. Alright, here, go try to fight this fucking guy. What? No, don't do that to the kid, Jesus. Yeah, Francis Ngannou. That dude can fucking hit. I think there's a fucking really high ceiling for this guy. I know I say fucking a lot. He's got some power. I almost said it again. But you give him a top 15. I don't know about top 10 yet. The top 15, there's a lot of play in there, those top 5 fighters. I don't know offhand, but I know it's a really old division, so yeah, give him a veteran, see how he does. Stop playing around with all this other shit. Give him a fucking veteran. You give him fucking Mark Hunt. I don't know where he's at. Last I checked, he was like 8. Give him fucking Mark Hunt. I don't give a shit. That would be, that'd be interesting. It'd be a fucking terrible fight, but it'd be interesting. I'd watch it. I know I'd pay for it. Fuck it. Felice Herrig. What a good fighter. I am really interested to see where she goes from here. Another fighter I'd really like to see get into that top 15. When Felice fights, she's such a, Lil Bulldog, that's her fucking nickname. And it's her nickname for a reason. She's so freaking interesting. When she fights, I swear, she just is constantly applying pressure. She's had some really tough losses. I thought that loss to Paige Van Zant, that up until whatever round it turned, I can't remember exactly. Don't get mad at me. I'm not a frickin' encyclopedia. I'm not Joe Rogan over here. Alright? But I do my best. And when Felice and Paige Van Zant fought, I remember there being a turning point. And I thought, oh, Felice, she's a great grappler, but she just couldn't seem to grapple with Paige. She's just too, whatever. And I'd really like to see Felice start breaking into that top 15. I know she's not the youngest, but go slow. She doesn't have to just jump right into fighting Rose Namajunas or whatever, Give her a couple good fights. That's the problem with the women's division. They're like 4-0 and then they get thrown to Joanna and they get destroyed, or they're 4-0 and they're like, oh, this would be a good fight for Ronda. I don't like when they just jump right in. I understand it's not that deep of a, neither really are that deep of a division, but you you gotta go slow, you know. I mean, Max Holloway, Jesus, he's still not fought for a title, and he's been murking everybody. So you gotta go slow. That's my advice for Felice Herrig, who's probably gonna retire in like 4 years. So really good advice, you fucking moron. Like she needs my advice, anyways. But yeah, I'd really like to see her get some more fights. What a great fighter. Let's talk about Eddie Wineland. Talking with some bias, you know, hometown boy. But fighting old boy Frankie Sands, that's the guy, if you guys all remember, Uriah couldn't put away, but Eddie somehow managed to put him away in the third round. So, what do you do with Eddie? I think you start giving him some good fucking fights again. Yeah, that Caraway fight, that was rough. But, you know, you gotta win some, you gotta lose some every now and then. I don't believe in the whole boxing mentality where it's like, oh, a fighter's got to be perfect right up until his fucking title defenses. You know what? I don't care if my fighters have a couple losses under their belts. That's just called experience, motherfuckers. Give them some more fights. Give them some good fights. Give them some interesting fights. This was a good fight. I was happy to watch this fight. But I want to see him fight some big names now. Nothing against Frankie Sands, but I want to see some big names. You know, I'm not saying Caraway again, but John Dodson? I'd like to see that. I'd pay for John Dodson. Two heavy hands, fast fighters. You're not going to get any stronger than those two right there. Let's see John Dodson versus Eddie Wineland. That's a good fucking fight. That's a fight I'd pay for. You could put that as a fucking co-main event, and I would love to see that shit. I might be speaking out of my fucking ass, but you know what? That's a good fucking fight. Eddie has hands. John Dodson has hands. That's like when you gave us the, where was it? I don't know, Sioux Falls? They gave us the Lineker and McDonald fight. That was a great fucking fight. Good job, UFC. You may have fucked up a little on UFC 200, but god damn, UFC Sioux Falls, that was awesome. That Lineker versus McDonald fight, go and watch that shit. That was awesome. That was a brawl. That's what I like to watch. You know, and it doesn't always have to be a brawl, but I want to see guys like Lineker, Wineland, Dodson. I want to see them brawl, you know. Hell, give McDonald and Eddie Wineland. Give that fight, you know. I don't know, I'm speaking out of my ass. And Darren Elkins and Godofredo, they fought. That was a great fight. I really had that going the other way, I'm not going to lie. I don't like picking against Darren, but I had that going the other way. That dude, that Godofredo, Pepe or whatever, don't make me say his fucking name, alright? Let me just fucking give him numbers. You know, I'm not going by the rankings, because I don't have them in front of me, but give them fucking numbers. I don't want to fucking say these guys' names when they're all fucking complicated and make me look like a goddamn jackass. I can't even say the word complicated. How am I supposed to say your fucking name? So anyways, that fight I thought was going to go the other way. That dude is so freaking wild when he throws. I thought he was going to maybe catch Darren with something, take him to the ground, but he didn't. So don't listen to me. Went the distance. Great fight. Good job, Darren. I don't know what you do with either of those guys next. Honestly, I don't know. But I'm interested to see both of them fight again very, very soon. That's all I can say on that. So, moving on. Let's go to the UFC 201, which is coming up this weekend, July 30th. That is a fucking card. That has some great fucking fights. Now,